Hello everyone, it's your girl Linda. Welcome to my show, Champagne Talks. Today we have an amazing guest and a beautiful, inspiring subject. And the subject is titled Navigating the Corporate World as a Black Woman. Please help me welcome this gorgeous lady of mine, Christabel.
Hey.
Welcome to Champagne Talks.
Thank you so much for having me.
Really my pleasure. Thank you for coming.
No worries.
And you look beautiful, by the way. I love that pinky. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Share and pop it up.
I'm
okay, then let's crack on. Well, the subject is navigating the corporate world as a Black woman. So, can you expand that a little bit for us?
Okay, so I've been in the corporate space for like 12 years.
Wow. Okay.
I know I probably don't look as old as I am, but
you look good. What about old is that? You look good.
Thank you. But I've learned a lot. So I've worked for maybe smaller companies, I've worked for bigger companies, and I've learned a lot of lessons from each and every place I've been in. And I've come to understand why maybe there's not so many of us, quote unquote, people of ethnic backgrounds, especially Black people. For good and bad reasons. I think some of that sits with the companies and some of that sits with ourselves and how we navigate in those spaces. We tend to forget those corporate spaces were not built for us, if that makes sense. So it's just about really knowing how to navigate and figuring out how to do things so that you can achieve your goals. Not everyone has the goal of becoming partner. No, everyone has the goal of, becoming like, I don't know, the VP of the whole, CEO of the entire company. But whatever your goal is, whether that's just to make money, to feed your family,
you just have to know how.
You have to know how to navigate and make the most of, your time there, in corporate. So yeah, that's
like what we are doing now. I love talking to people. I'm navigating it right to achieve my goal, basically.
Exactly.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Exactly.
Well, so where did you get the inspiration from? Like, what inspired you, to go into that?
So, I think when I was younger.
Oh, I want to hear the story.
When I was younger, quote unquote, maybe growing up, I remember I used to live in that council estate in Tower Blocks, and I could see Canary Wharf from where I lived. So I live in East London. I could see Canary Wharf. So every time
you see Billy's Gate as well, where they serve fish?
Unfortunately not.
No, you don't. I love to go there and buy my fish fresh.
So does my mum actually. So, but the actually, the main Canary Wharf building, it's notorious known for. I used to see that all the time. And I'm like, one day I'm going to work there. One day I'm going to work there. And I was quite young. I would say, I think I even moved from Tower Block when I was like 10. So I was quite young when I started already saying that. And even from a child, when I was young, I used to say, I'm going to be successful. I didn't know what I was going to do. I've changed my career. I wanted to be a journalist at some point. Like, I've changed my career, like, aspirations so many times when I was younger. But the inspiration was definitely to be, quote unquote, successful, aka wealthy. That was my.
Everybody wanted to be that.
Everyone, right?
Yeah,
everyone. But I think we forget that to whom much is given, much is required.
Exactly.
So being wealthy, it comes with its
Speak on that. Yes,
it comes with its own things, and you have to be prepared to be able to handle that. Anyway, I think that's a conversation for probably later, but. That was my first inspiration to be, to be able to have my own house, to be able to buy my own car, all those kind of things that I guess as a young girl, you think, oh, that's amazing. That's so, that's excellent. And whenever I used to see, one thing I remember, whenever I used to see Black women on TV, it used to make me so happy because obviously representation matters. They looked like me. So I knew that they were there. I could definitely be there as well. But then, no, to stick into the story, should I say, or sticking to the question at hand. Now that I'm a little bit older, when I think about my actual inspiration, it most certainly, absolutely is God. And someone will say, how is your career, what's that got to do with God? It's got everything to do with God. I mean, the fact that
it's the foundation.
It's the foundation of everything,
obviously,
right?
Yes.
Even in our Father prayer, we say, give today our daily, give us today our daily bread.
Our Father,
your daily bread is your work.
Yes.
It's the work of your hands.
Yes.
So absolutely it's a part of your God wants you to also
Yeah,
go
because
work.
some people think that bread will fall, the roof. You just fall from there, you grab it. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And
you have to go out there.
You have to go out there to get it. And
Yeah.
on top of that, everyone has their purpose, everyone has their calling.
Yes.
And, our callings are not, I think we always think of, as Christians, sometimes think of callings as just in the ministry. Don't get me wrong.
Singing, preaching,
prophecy. Maybe but there's calling also outside, even in work as well.
Yeah.
Somebody that doesn't know God can find God just by you. Just not even by you even telling them, by the way you live your life.
Yes.
That alone is almost at your.
It's like, for instance, I keep telling people, a makeup artist. Let me use it as a reference.
Yeah.
You are telling me about makeup. And then I look at you.
Yep.
Nothing is representing makeup to me. So why are you telling me about it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. No. So that's what they say, you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what I mean? Absolutely. So, you have to look like what we,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I think in the world of work, sometimes some people can really test your gangster. Like, they can really pull it out of you if you're not careful. But that's why what is so important to remember that God should always be your inspiration, even at work.
And that will calm you down, put you on check. Yeah.
And make you do the right things the right way. Not just because that will save you from trouble at work, but because that's what God has also commanded us to do, right? To be the light of the world. There's many places that you go into, for example, work, chaos, absolute chaos, political drama to the nth degree, Oscar nominated, award winning, dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
But you being that person and being the only person maybe that stands by their morals and stands by their right, for you maybe you feel like, you're going against the grain, people might not like you. That's fine. As long as God approves.
Yep. Nothing else matters. Keep going, girl.
That is it. So it's taken me a while. During this 12 years, but I come to a point where I understand that only God, literally only God, and can almost like put you in the places that you need to be as well.
Yes.
The favor of God upon your life should literally, in your life, one of the places you can see it working is in your workplace as well. So
that's why they call him protocol changing.
Absolutely.
Yes, I like that one.
Absolutely.
He changes the protocol.
Absolutely. Roles that you're not supposed to get.
Yeah, you see yourself getting it. Yeah. Even when they say you're not qualified to be at this uni, by the time you know that even both the uni and another uni, you have like 4 ringing you, they've taken you. You're not like, okay, I'm confused. Which one am I going to take again? Do I go for that one? You see, everything is now on your table.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you what happened. Like, you're saying this because, this show, my children and close friends, they can see literally through me that I can do it.
Your potential.
Because what I do, and then when I talk to people, I don't know, for some reason I have the gift. When I talk to them, they're actually listening. And they're like, why not make it into something that you now speak to the whole world? Event, something like that. Make it like a show, podcast, whatever. I'm like, I don't think I have time for that. I'm a shy person. I was giving so much excuse. They say, like, Mom, start it first and see how it goes. And look at me, I've done season 1, now I'm on season 2.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? And then when I'm entering season 2, it was quite difficult because it's summertime. People are all going with their family, things, and so it's difficult to get guests. And then when they are interested in coming, the timing, you understand, is not working. So I'm like, God, you know what? It's all on you. I don't know what you want me to do. If I'm gonna stop with the season 1, fair enough. At least I've inspired people with the season 1. So it's up to you with the season 2. Then what happened?
We went to
the conference, networking. Boom, 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 boom. I have 10 guests.
Really?
For my season 2.
Wow.
Just like that. And all of them are all excited to come. It's not like, oh, are you gonna come? Kind of trying to. This one, you can see the excitement. They are throwing in their subjects. I'm creating the point, the topic points or whatever questions we're gonna be talking about. So when God is doing something, he's very much at ease. he just flows.
And he literally makes the way
Yeah.
where it seems like it's a dead end.
Yeah.
That's when he opens. That story in the Bible of Moses and the Israelites going through the Red Sea is one of my favorite, because it's like the most like how can that happen?
They didn't know what to do. They're like this. Everywhere is water.
Like Moses, that you better sort this out, because
because he was the leader.
He was the leader.
Yes,
I would have been on Moses' neck.
He has
like, listen, why the heck we were chilling in?
Why did you bring us there?
In Egypt.
Yeah, you should have bring us there. Let's just be there and be punished and at least eat food.
Exactly.
Why bringing us here
to the front of the sea?
Maybe Moses was like, okay, God is on you now. I don't know what to
finish me. Exactly.
And God showed up.
He did. And
immediately.
And that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what
he does that a lot.
Continues to do. We just have to have the faith to remember that God of yesterday is still the God of today.
At present, yeah.
And that's one of my. So that's why
what inspires you. These are the things that inspire you.
Absolutely.
And keeps you going.
Absolutely. So I literally we've got into my career completely now. Like he has to, like in every way.
So it's like you getting your vision and make it known to him, and then he do the rest.
Absolutely.
So you better get your vision right. Get your vision. Know what you want to do. Present it to God and see God work. He moves like magic, but you must have a vision. Yeah, you must. Yeah,
I like the point you just made, because that would be definitely one of my, let's say, fundamental principles. So the first one would be definitely having a relationship with God. Praying about everything.
Yes.
Don't think something's too small to pray about.
Exactly.
I don't get it. Like, God is actually in the details. God actually made this entire world to the T,
and you can talk to him anywhere. Just let it come from
your inner man, your spirit. Let it be authentic, let it be real, let it be
intentional.
There. Exactly.
Be intentional.
Exactly.
Again, your vision, be intentional of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then tell God and maybe do research, people that are on that particular thing, your vision, how did they get about? If you can call them, if you can email them, if you can read about it. Like me, what I'm doing, I watch other people that do what I'm doing to see the things I'm gonna, upgrade myself with. You know what I mean? So this subject is really, really interesting. I think every subject that we've discussed on this show is interesting. Yeah, uniquely interesting. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Because it's capturing everybody's journey and how they navigate around it.
Absolutely. Wow, that's nice. Now, another question I'm gonna ask you is: are you in the corporate world yourself? Are you like, what do you do? Like,
that's a great question. So, I am currently, my title is a forensic accountant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I normally get that that title like, what's that? What do you guys do? I'm a forensic accountant. So effectively, what forensic accountants do is, for example, in fraud investigations, we like go in and look at the numbers and see how people have committed fraud in the financial aspect of it. I guess the police and the other people do whatever they have to do, but if they're involved, that is. But we look at numbers. We really understand how people go about committing certain crimes. That's one aspect of it. We also look at even matrimonial cases. So some people have businesses. We now help them value how much their business is worth, so that when they do divorce, they can split in half, but they can know the actual value of their business that they have together, put together. Well, we also do like disputes, like maybe breach of contract, like for example,
I think I might hire you for that breach of contract, because I think so. Yeah. Let's carry on.
But breach of
contract, I don't need to go far. Okay,
right here. Figuring out breach of contract. And so for example, some in breach of contract cases, somebody might say, because of this breach of contract, I've lost, I don't know, like £10. Well, not really £10, but I've lost £10. Not just because of the contract. Maybe the contract was worth £5, but I've lost £10 because it's now stopped me from being able to make other profits. So we now look deeper into their their financials and really kind of understand, is it realistic? Well, the number they're giving, is that a realistic number? The number they're claiming before the courts, is that a realistic figure for them to put forward? So it's a list of different things, but that would be the main thing. So fraud, matrimonial cases, breach of contracts, and that kind of disputes, that kind of company disputes and things like that. But it's like super interesting, and it took me a long while to get to where I am. I don't know if you want to know about my. Go ahead. So one of my friends, she did like an internship for the summertime, and she told me about forensic accounting. I was like, "What's that?" Right? And I was going to study at university, accounting at university. So I did my research. I was like, "Oh, okay, this sounds a bit interesting. It's not the normal, typical accounting that everyone knows." Long story short, because I'll be here for years if I speak about my entire career, but I have done many different accounting roles, I would say, across different companies. It was very difficult for me to get into.
Sorry to go, I like what you just said now, because some people are shying away from becoming an accountant because of the typical one. Now there is another different
there are many different facets.
Please, if you're really interested in accounting and you are scared of counting numbers, I'm one of them though. Please look into different accounting.
There is so many.
Please do your research. Find out different accounting, right?
You can even use AI to find out what different areas of accounting. It's not just tax. It's not everyone thinks everyone's a tax person. Like, I did a tax exam and that's it. I don't know tax again.
If I know about this, I might do it, because what puts me off with that is I don't want to count no numbers. No, I think it's boring.
Accounting is more about principles as opposed to numbers. That's the way I see it anyway. It's to do with principle. What principles are in place, and how do you make sure that you're aligning to the principles that are in place?
But at times,
but the numbers are not it's not complicated. It's not the numbers you work with are not complicated per se, if that makes sense. They're not. It's like 5+. It's not. I promise you, it's not. It's the principles that you have to remember, and the different, legislations and things like that. That's the hard part. You have to remember and apply it to different scenarios. But it's not. Of course, I would say that because I've been doing it for so long. But trust me, it's not that complicated. And accounting is vast. It's very, very vast. Like this, I'm sure many people haven't heard of the area that I work in. But
can someone do that course for a year, 1 year, or is it like 3? How many years course is that?
You mean in terms of the accounting qualification itself?
the one your field.
Where I work right now, forensic accounting, is literally by experience. So the only reason that's kind of helped me get into it quick is because I had a accounting qualification. So I did my ACCA. That took about 3 years.
Okay, that's 3 years.
That's 3 years. But after that, you can specialize in any area. And plus, there's some people that actually work in my area that are not qualified.
And people can do volunteer to kind of gain the experience in that field.
As I was saying, so some people don't even have accounting, let's say accounting qualification, but they have maybe experience or relevant. Maybe they worked in legal for a little bit, or they have some sort of police experience, or investigation experience. Even I'm saying this, but I haven't met anyone in compliance. But I think there's certain compliance-based roles that you can start off with, and that can take you into.
You see, you guys, I'm learning as well, not just you, yeah. So I'm getting something as well. Okay, I love that. Did you think it's hard to enter the corporate world? Yeah. Do you think it's hard? I know we've touched a little bit, but this one concentrates on telling us if it's hard or if it's not hard, or how did you get something like that?
I don't think it's hard to get into corporate world. It is harder if you're a person of color.
Oh, okay.
And I'll say that because, for example, with many jobs nowadays, let's be honest, with some jobs nowadays, it's who you know, right?
Yeah.
So
the same thing that is in Africa.
Well, there we go.
Oh my goodness.
So sometimes it can be. I think it's probably not as crazy as it is
Africa. Yeah,
you can still get a chance. You can apply and try as hard as you can. But if you know someone, if you've networked with someone, it makes it that much easier for you. The only great thing about in the UK is that, for example, there's LinkedIn. So you're able to maybe, go on someone's profile, send them a message, kind of form a relationship with them. Ask them, how is it to work in this company, and use that to form a relationship with them. And then from then, hopefully apply, or they can give you tips on how to apply, what you should do. So there's that avenue. I wouldn't say it's necessarily, let me go back. The reason why I said it's harder for maybe people of color, because how many of us are even in corporate in the first place? So for example, where before You can get your uncle's friend to maybe hook you up with a summer job.
Mm-hmm.
In our communities, that's not that common.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, that's not too common.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't think we help each other as much as we should.
Yeah.
Let the truth be known.
Yeah.
It's a fact. You know, there's you can sometimes you can try and help, you know, people as much as you can, even if it's not in your work, your
Mm-hmm.
place of work. You can help them with their CV, you know, with other things that would help them to get
in,
job,
yeah.
get in, you know, their foot in the door somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard. You can find a mentor, someone you can just talk to. Like, oh, I want to apply for this. What do you think? They can kind of like motivate you.
But why is it difficult for them to do that now? Why is it difficult to help people to get in?
I think that's a cultural thing that we need to discuss within our communities. I think that's what it is. I think that's something that we need to discuss. I think it's changing somewhat.
Like now we're all coming together, like that thing that we went. Even there's another one, the 23rd.
Yeah.
Not too sure if I'm gonna make it.
I won't be
if
around.
I can, are you know the one, right?
Yeah, but I won't be around.
You won't be
23rd of next month.
No, this month.
Oh no,
23rd of this month. I don't think 50-50. Not sure. Yeah. So this bringing us together
is amazing, right?
Yeah, networking, knowing ourselves, supporting each other. I think we'll get somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I love. That's a great example, actually. Yeah. That's how we met. Right?
Yes. And now you're here.
There we go.
Now you're here.
Because someone took the initiative to kind of do a networking and say, you know, we want to bring Black women into one space.
I think I need to create a networking as well.
There we go.
And it's needed. Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah, I need to create one. Needed. Yeah, it's very, very good.
It's very much needed to network. And I think there's some things that are also not maybe normal to us in our culture. So networking isn't something that we normally do outside of you know, the place we network is church. Apart from church
and our events, wedding.
But then how many people are you able to speak about like work? You will know someone for like 10 years at church. You won't know what work they do.
Funeral service.
That's it. All
of those. Yeah. That's just meetings, community meetings.
Yeah.
That's the only networking we do, basically. And
I feel like even then we don't, like, not many people know what other people are up to, what they're working as. Because even church is a great person.
It's nice there, but to kind of go out of the box, like where we meet each other,
like a women's
that is good. We need to create that more often.
Absolutely.
And we need to actually, thinking of that, what came to my head now, right? We need to actually create that to our young children, because our children don't even know themselves, and some of them probably now want to go into the field you are. They don't know how. So you see, when I think I'm going to think about it, it's going to be nice. So each parent bring your kids with you, and then we all have that networking, that sit together, talk, mingle, you know, get each other's contact, and then take it from there. It's gonna be an amazing, you know.
I mean, that makes so much sense. And if we're targeting younger children, is key.
That's my aim. That's my purpose.
So key, because
young people.
The earlier they know, the better.
Yeah.
One thing I realized about maybe people from Caucasian backgrounds is, from a young age, maybe they might be a part of, and this is kind of what we're not as used to. So they might be part of a cricket club. And from that cricket club, they know someone's uncle, and someone's uncle then can hopefully then connect them to somebody else. Yeah. And from there, that's
how it goes.
That's literally it.
That's how it goes. Nobody's an island.
Yeah.
You have to know somebody to know somebody to know so to get to where you're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, for example, using myself example, if my friends didn't go to that internship, I probably wouldn't have been on the path I'm on now in forensic accounting, because my friend then went on that internship, came back to tell me about it. I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. Then I went to inquire, and now I find myself, you know, how many years later in that same career that she spoke about. Wow. So as you're saying, we're not islands, right? We must try and navigate. I'll be honest, in my industry, there's not many Black women. There's not much at all. It's a white male dominant
we have to navigate more. We really need to. We need to get these young people together, so that they have the potentials. They have what it takes to
absolutely have the potential
to get there. So we need to get them together somehow.
And sometimes you can't be a part of what you don't know. So I think it's sad when they know much later. So do things like what you're saying, networking from a young age. It even gets them to have a kind of what would you call it? a habit of doing it, because I also know that a lot of people, like not just black people, but a lot of people don't like networking. If they find it all cringy.
Something just came to my head, but I'll leave it for another day.
Okay. The ideas are popping.
My head is just is over. But
that's good. It means we're having a stimulating conversation.
Yes,
no,
yes,
it's good. It's great.
Yes.
There's sorry, I even forgot what I was talking about, but there's just so much good stuff. Like even me, I'm getting ideas now as well.
Yeah, but the hard side of it. So that's what we were talking about.
The hard side, the hard side is maybe the lack of networking that we have within our communities. Just to wrap it up, that I think are harder from our communities. I think the unity will definitely help, and just knowing more about different industries and how to get into different industries. I think we all know about specific jobs that people are in, and everyone rushes to go there. One great example would be healthcare, right? I mean, most of my family in healthcare, so I'm the odd one out if I think about it. But it's because we're so used to knowing that area, so we all kind of rush there.
One-way system.
Yeah, basically.
One direction. We all go there.
But there's so many
branches.
Even in healthcare, there's so many different, other branches you can be a part of. It's just about knowing. So I think now we're in a technology age where we have AI, Google, all these things that are there. We also have to take it upon ourselves to research more as well. Because if I just took my friend's, her internship and said, "Oh, is it okay? That's great," and then I didn't go and research it, I would have never known, how to kind of navigate. So researching, and then also myself being here, if I never pursued, because it took me a long time to pursue and become
the process.
The process.
All we see is the results. We don't know.
We don't see the process. But going into that industry, when I came to realize it was definitely white male dominant, I decided that if someone's going to be the first to do anything, there's going to be me. I don't know. I just have that fire in my stomach. I'm just like, if I'm the only one, then let it be so. But it's definitely going to be me.
Wow. So
when I got there, even now, I literally always search for other black female forensic accountants if I can find them. As I said, there's not many, especially in the UK. Maybe in the US, I've identified one or two that are very senior, very, like they have a voice in the community and things like that. But they're not really there. But sometimes if you don't see my point is, if you don't see the representation, don't be afraid to be it yourself. Some of us shy away and say that, I don't want to be the first, or it's too much pressure. But sometimes if that's what you want to do, then be the first. Like, why not, right?
And enjoy it.
Embrace it. If otherwise, how are people going to even know who they're going to talk to? Like, if they want to also pursue it, like if they don't see people like themselves, So being that representation is so important as well. Wow. But just to kind of summarize on the hard bit, I think getting in has its, it can be hard, but it can be done. I think staying in it and being successful is the harder part. So I think entering the house is cool, but staying there and having a successful career is hard.
It's the hard part.
Because once you've entered the corporate space, you understand it's not just about your work. It's so much more than that. It's about the corporate game, quote unquote. So the corporate game itself is just even how to deal with people and also how to deal with yourself. Let me quickly touch on the two. Dealing with yourself in the sense that having self-confidence.
Okay, I think I'm going to pause you there because I have another question for you to highlight the steps.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. You tell them what they're going to do. And then the next question, what would be a typical day? What would your typical day look like?
Yeah. All right. My days vary a lot because the nature of my work, forensic accounting, is very different. It's all project based and plus it's very different. So one day you can get a case about fraud investigation and they want you to...
It's like social worker. At times you get a workload.
Yeah.
You have to assessment report. You have to write. You'll be hearing. Oh goodness, tell me about it.
So I can't compare it to your job, but you're right. Every single person's a different case.
Yes.
And they all have their different workload, workload that they come with. So for the most part, like I obviously go in and have my team meeting or whatever I have to do. I think at the stage I'm at now, where I'm kind of transitioning more into the more managerial space, it would be kind of like making sure that I look at, making sure that I talk to my associates and find out like what they're doing and how they're going about their day, you know, what objectives they have, and try to motivate them as well, make sure that they're on point for whatever they have to do, and that let them know that you can ask me questions, guys. You don't have to suffer in silence, ask me questions. Obviously check emails, the same old stuff, but really just kind of get into the work. So there's all various types of work that we do. But for example, if I'm going to give an example, something I'm working on now would be like a document review. So we work with lawyers a lot as well. I forgot to mention that we work with the like legal teams a lot, who would be effectively representing our client in the courts of law. And what we do is obviously we're supporting their case, whatever the case that they're taking to court, we're supporting that with our number crunching, basically, right? So whatever the lawyers ask us for, whether it's report writing, you know, to write about what's going on in the case, or what we think, we have to give an objective view. So it might be a report writing, it could be even document reviews as well. So we have to look at contracts, we look at I don't know, like people's accounts. Well, I will say people's accounts, sometimes people's accounts, but like business accounts, and see kind of what transactions have happened, like in detail. We look and we basically would tag, you know, that maybe legitimate business, illegitimate business, you know, or investigate a bit more to find out, you know, what does this email mean? Who did it go to? Why is this person talking about this particular thing? Like looking at things in detail. I would say that the key skill that I have in this job is attention to detail. You need to be quite nosy in a sense, but you need to have great attention to detail to pick up things that people usually wouldn't pick up if they're to look at something. But that's some of the things that I do on a day-to-day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any age frame of becoming one, or is it for everyone? Like, is there any age limit or age frame, like
in terms of going into corporate?
Yes,
there isn't. However, I think the younger you can get into it, the better.
Okay.
I think that's really because of two main things. It would be the amount that, how to explain it? The first one would be, I think when you're older, maybe this is generalization, but when you're older, maybe you have your own set of values, you have your way of doing things. And let's be honest, when we're at some age, we like the way we do things. We don't like to, you know, now change everything because someone else says that you should change it, right? It's been working for me for so long. Why should I change it now? So I think sometimes when you're maybe more stuck in your ways, that can maybe hinder you if you're older. But I think it's just down to mindset. I don't think it matters about age at all. I think it's down to your mindset. I think that should be my answer, really. So if you have a mindset of, I want to do something new, I want to learn something new, there's no age, you know, gap, barrier to say that, oh, now you're in your 40s or 50s, so you can't change careers. You can absolutely do anything that you want to do. It depends on you, literally, right? So that'll be my first thing. And I think I think that's the main. I think it's the mindset, actually. I think that actually centers around everything. Young people coming in, actually, maybe the disadvantage for them, funny enough, when you're younger, is when you come in, you're just so open, like, not open, but you're so clueless. You kind of like take things maybe not as seriously. And sometimes, you know, there's certain behaviors that are kind of done maybe towards you that you just accept as well. I think that would be one of the things I reflect on. I knew that some people were definitely somewhat bullying me in a way, or taking advantage because they knew that I was younger. I was kind of new to the industry. I didn't kind of know what I was doing. So I think that the two, again, mindset. So if you come into the world of work and you kind of are confident in yourself and you know who you are and you're able to set boundaries, that does change your experience, if that makes sense. It does help you along your way. So no, there's not really an age limit. So it's really your mindset.
Just come in. This is what I want to do. Come in there and just get on with it,
and just decide I want to learn. I don't care how old I am. It doesn't bother me, so it shouldn't bother anyone else. Right. And that's it. It really goes down to your mindset. Okay. Your willingness to learn something new.
Good one. Okay, the last one that we're gonna talk about is, can you highlight the steps that needs to be taken in order to achieve entering into the corporate world? What steps? What, the ladder?
The ladder for raw.
What would they do?
I would say, speaking to your audience, I would say, I think that there's obviously basic ones in terms of entering in. So obviously make sure that your CV, it makes sense. Like your CV has to be, I'll be honest.
Make sense.
Your CV has to make sense in a how to explain this very quickly. Your obviously your spelling, your grammar should be on point. Because, for example, as a forensic accountant, I'm telling people that I have attention to detail, but everywhere has a spelling mistake in my CV. It's not looking like attention to detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to, make sure that your CV is on point in that sense. Be active on social media. Now there's kind of no excuse to not be. So when I mean social media, I'm talking about LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely have a presence there. I think it's important. If you want to enter corporate world, it's a great place. That you have to be there, to be honest. I think you have to be there. LinkedIn. And then again, networking, I don't sharp about it because I really genuinely believe in networking. And networking doesn't have to just be just even in outside and different people that you don't know. Sometimes within the companies you're currently at as well, you don't know what opportunities that can come out of people taking you, from one section to another, one unit to another, you was mentioned before. So that's entering. Now, staying in corporate, as I said, to me is the hardest bit. Staying there and persevering is the hardest bit. Moving up the ranks is the hardest bit. Every level has its kind of own challenges and pressure that it comes with. I think the first thing I would say, or first fundamental principle I would mention, I think I mentioned this before, is God. I can't stress it enough. Is God. You're going to meet, think about it this way, in the corporate world, you're going to meet people from different backgrounds, coming from different places, all different types of people.
Thinking and all,
different thinking, different spirits. Like there's a whole
different view,
everything different. And you're put into this room and you're told to work together.
Yeah.
Right? So anticipate that humans will be humans.
Yeah.
And there'll be politics. As for that one, I will not lie to you. There's some politics in some places that are really crazy and some places that are maybe a bit more manageable, but there will be politics. There will be, some people that are just, what's the words?
Just expect
humans to be humans, basically.
Yeah.
In all manners of things, right? And even in terms of job security, no job is actually secure. That's a fact of life. Just never. I was made redundant at some point in my career. And that's when I was really showing pepper. I was like, okay, cool. After that, I was like, okay. After that, honestly speaking, like literally nothing can impact me. And again, that's because I lean on God. Because before I was leaning on my own understanding. I was leaning on my own strength. I was leaning on my own money that I felt like I had at the time. It was getting
getting inside your head.
I think it got to my head a little bit.
Like I've arrived.
I've arrived. You know that time I was in investment banking. I thought I was the girl. So God will find a way to put you in a situation, but it teaches you as well. It taught me to be humble. It taught me that in all ways, God will provide. That's what He does. It's in His character, it's in His name, right? Jireh. It's in His name. He will provide. It's just about leaning on God and really, really ensuring that you're taking Him along. Not only when things are tough, things are difficult. Oh God. When things are smooth, when the promotions are coming, when it's going well, make sure that you include Him in those steps as well. So the first principle, I always say this, but for me, I don't know what people use, but for me, it's God. Because He's got me through the very difficult bits where I was like, God, I want to quit. Sometimes I'll sit there and be like, God, I want to quit today. Like, what's the point of me being here? And then I remember that, for example, me being that only Black forensic accountant in that area or that, that kind of industry, it's not a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences either. So there is something that's ahead of me that is so much greater beyond even my understanding that God has for me. So I have to stay on course. I have to, So again, God, just center it on God completely in every way, and trust me, He'll make your path straight. That's number one. Number two, your self-awareness in good ways and bad ways. Like, I'll start with the bad ways. Sometimes we need to check ourselves.
Exactly.
I have to be honest, sometimes we need to check ourselves. There's certain things that we do and we think
that's why they call it sober reflection.
Seriously.
People don't do that.
We also need to check ourselves. Sometimes there's, people might even be afraid to, give you feedback on something. That feedback could be the one thing that stops you from getting the promotion that you want, right? But people will stop because maybe when we told you other smaller things, you've like, oh my gosh, like you've gone over the top and you've got emotional about it. You can't be in the corporate and be emotional.
You have to be.
You have to take the emotions. It's business. You have to treat it like business because it is business, right? It's not. You can't take everything emotionally. So be willing to take feedback. So that's a part of the self-awareness. Take feedback. Also know who you are, because a lot of people in the corporate space suffer from things like imposter syndrome. Right? They're in this place. They're qualified to be there. You know, they're qualified. For me, for example, none of my jobs I've been in because my face is pretty. It's because I'm qualified. Yes. I did that accounting qualification. I did that degree.
Especially
and I did the years.
Abroad, is your qualification, it's not your face.
It's not my face.
Nobody's looking at your face. Not even your title.
Not even my title. Yeah. Exactly. It's because you've earned that place. So sometimes know your worth, like really know your worth, and add tax to that as well.
Exactly. Bring it on, girl.
Right? That's important. Know your worth. Be confident in your ability, even when things don't make sense, or you're doing this work and it's difficult. You're gonna figure out a way. Just tell yourself that I don't know what I'm doing, but it's gonna get done. Yes. Right? I'm going to figure it out. That self-talk and that kind of elimination of self-doubt is gonna take you far. Because the moment you start doubting yourself, you've almost opened the door for other people to also doubt you as well, and your ability. Because you are your best spokesman, right?
Yes,
like, you represent yourself. So if you don't even, if you underestimate yourself, then people start looking. There's no point. People looking at, she's not too sure. A lot of people, again, this is another thing I learned about corporate. A lot of people, as I said, Oscar nominated, winning. So a lot of people don't know what they're doing. When you get into corporate, you see that people's bosses have no clue what you do. But they've put you in that space because that's your specialist. You're a specialist now in that spot. Maybe you think they're senior, so they know everything. They're probably just managing everyone, but they might not know the detail to which you know of the work that you do, right? So know your worth.
It's like somebody. I was speaking to somebody. Sorry that I.
No.
There was somebody that was. We were having a just kind of mutual conversation, and the person mentioned that the nurse do the most of the work, not the doctors. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, Linda, you don't understand that you're in there. That the nurses do the check on the patient, they do the blood test, they do the doctor will come in and go through what the nurses, and then know what to the follow up. That's okay. At least it's working for both of you, both the doctors and the nurse, because that's not my field, so I can't really say much about it. But so, like what you're saying now, is similar to who is doing the work and the other one, but because this one is a senior too, so it's like that.
So then everyone's views that they know everything, but no, the nurse would basically know the patient in and out
more. They
will know their behavior, they'll know their temperaments, they'll know what they like, if they like shy, if they're silent.
The nurses do know.
So just based on that information alone, we have to remember that that's why you have to have confidence in what you do, because you do know, and even when you don't know, like for example, if there's a challenge, so the best thing that one of my
there's always going to be a challenge.
There's always going to be a challenge.
Anything you are doing in life,
goodness,
there will be a challenge. But the thing is, how would you deal with it when it comes?
Do you know what? Something a mentor told me is to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
I like that quote.
And I literally started to live by that. And what I mean by that, for example, when you go for a job, right? They've never seen you work before, but because based off your CV, they have faith in the fact that because of your CV, you'll be able to do it.
Or because of your CV, they're not going to give you the job because you're not qualified.
Exactly.
But inside you know that you can actually do the job. But they're not talking about you. They're talking about what they're seeing, reading there, the details.
From what reading the
That's why you said you added CV. Make sure your CV is on point.
Absolutely.
Because they go by the CV, not by who is sitting.
Yeah.
And then they will now ask you questions based on your CV.
So you really need to make sure that your CV.
And then while they are talking to you, they want to look at your body language, facial expression. Key. Are you confident enough to do that job? Some people think they are just having one-to-one conversation. No, they are checking everything. So tell them you can do it, you can handle it. And then the way you speak back, the way also counts.
And even the questions you ask them at the end, that all shows.
Because sometimes they will ask you, do you have any questions? Some people say, no, I'm good. No, you better have a question.
That's key.
A question.
Always have a question.
Ask questions.
Ask questions.
Even if you know it, just ask it.
Yeah.
So let them, tell you more.
Yeah.
You can add it to the one you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always ask questions. Is important.
100%.
You must ask questions. It's very, very important.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But using that as an example, right? They don't even know you, and already they've called you for an interview to say that, oh, you have the potential. So why don't you believe in your own potential?
Exactly.
That's the question a lot of us need to ask ourselves. Why? So
you have to have potential. So it's on the highlights, the steps. You need to have potential.
You need to believe in your own potential, basically, to be able to combat, when difficult situations arise. Because they're going to arise. There's going to be things you've never done. But, whoever, your bosses or whoever made it to where they are, they also went through that as well. They didn't start off knowing everything. They also had to learn. So just be open to learning and know that you have potential.
Wow.
Now that's one thing. And I think the third thing would be knowing your environment that you're in, right? So again, one of these like very recent situations that have happened in the UK, for example, these riots and things of that nature. I think the scary thing for me was that, we could work with some of these people, because that's one of the places that you would meet them on a day-to-day activities. You could work with some of these people and they'll just dislike you just for no reason besides who you are, who God created you to be, which is, it doesn't resonate, like it doesn't actually make sense. But having awareness of your environment and having awareness of people around you is very, very key. One major thing I would say is, once you even enter corporate space as a new person, make sure you do assessment of the people in that team. Just because someone's the head of the team does not mean that they actually run it. You get people that are maybe even deputy, and there is their word that really goes far, if that makes sense. They're the ones that, if that person was advocating for you, you probably would be able to shoot up the ladder quicker, because that person just is influential in that group. But it doesn't mean that they're the head, but they're just influential. So figure out who's influential. Figure out the people that you feel like would be a good.
It's like we buying Kellogg's, Kellogg's cereal. Yeah. So you buy Sainsbury's brand. They say, no, I want Kellogg's. So they are not buying the actual content, what is inside it. It's the name, the brand. So something like that. And then when you drink the Marks and Spencer one, you realize that, this is nice. You know what I mean? But then, why are you not buying Kellogg's? It's just the brand, the name. It's
just the name. But
So
who's really in deep inside there, who's really the person that's running the show? Like, who, because the head of whatever might not even be there most times to even know what's going on. It's the deputy that knows everything that's going on. So know your environment very well, know who's influential, and know how you can work to your how that can work to your strengths as well. In terms of, again, I'm going back to networking, building relationships. That's
so basically we have God first, which is the foundation. Then we have self-awareness.
And know your potential.
We have know your potential. We have know your environment. Be aware of your environment.
Very aware.
What did you say again?
I said a lot, but I think there's the three.
These are the
three main
ones.
Yeah,
and then self-confidence. I know when you say self-confidence. Self-worth.
And also be able to check yourself as well.
Sober reflection.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the list.
That's the list.
Okay, I hope you guys got all that. So here on Talk Show we have little game. So how does that game work? I'll show you. So basically, sometimes I love to travel, even though I don't like height. Crazy. But I love to, from time to time, I just leave the environment. When you come back, it helps mentally. I don't know about someone else, but it helps me.
Absolutely.
So here, what we do, there are different names, country where we want to go, but at times we can't even remember the names. So this is the whole world here. So it's gonna, okay, now that's a huge one. So when it stops, any country your eyes catches when the ball stops, that will be your number one kind of, maybe where you'll be thinking to go.
Okay.
So you're gonna spin 2-3 times.
Okay.
So you have 3 countries on your list. Maybe anytime you want to travel, you remember, when I went to that talk show, Champagne talk show. I had them these three. Now you can remember one or two or three, and then you might go there and check it out. And then there's this country I've been trying to go, but I've never gotten that country. But it's okay. I'll keep trying before I finish the show. Maybe I'll get it.
Should I spin first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Check.
Oh, Mexico.
I love me Mexico. I love that
so
country.
Wow, I've never been, but I definitely.
I've never been either, but it's on my list.
Yeah, it's on my list actually.
I would love to go there.
Okay, so I can go again. Right?
Yes.
Okay. This is actually fun. Oh, is there even a country here? You know what I can see? The North Pacific Ocean.
What's the country around? What do you see around there? Is there any country around there? If you don't see anything, you spin again.
Oh my goodness.
You do another spin.
The islands, but let me do another spin.
Yeah, do another spin.
I've never heard these pictures before. I don't know people on there. Algeria.
That's good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've been to Morocco, but I know it's not the same. I know it's close, but I've never been to Algeria, so that would be interesting.
Put it on your list.
Yeah.
And tell me when you go there, let me know.
I will. All right, my third
You can hold
one.
it so that you can,
yes, I can give it a good spin.
Yes.
Last one.
You see? That's
Much
nice.
Oh my god. Hawaii!
I'm going with
so
you.
cool.
Take me with you. I'm going to Hawaii.
That is so lucky. I would absolutely love to go to Hawaii.
Yes,
I would love to.
yes.
I've heard so many good things about
Me
it.
too. Okay.
I can't wait to see what you get. Let's see.
Me too. Okay, I was supposed to turn it to me, but it's okay. San Francisco. Is that
America.
US?
Yeah.
Okay, San Francisco. Okay, US. Okay.
It's alright.
It's nice.
I went there really
It's nice.
year.
I need to find out how many hours though. I go by hours. That's my problem. I can't stay more than 6 hours.
Oh, it's more than 6 hours.
Then I have a problem.
It's like 9, 10.
Then I have a problem. Unless somebody's gonna put me to sleep.
Yeah, they probably.
They said, Linda, drink alcohol, you will sleep.
Knock you out.
If I drink alcohol, that's when my eyes is wide open.
Really?
I don't sleep nothing. Drink coffee, that's when I want to watch a movie.
Yeah, because you're
those
wide
things
awake.
doesn't knock me out.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
same.
need something that will make me sleep.
Maybe
So I can do 15 hours. Some people do 19 hours. I'm not wondering.
It's crazy.
They're not normal at this point. Egypt.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yes.
Really
I would
cool.
love to go to Egypt.
See the pyramids.
Yeah, I've done twice, right? So I have to do one more.
Last one.
Come on, give me that country. Mexico. So we are going to
Mexico. Okay, all right then. It's done. It's done.
By the way, the country is great.
Oh,
I love me Grace. I don't know
You
why.
haven't gone yet.
I've not been.
Okay, you need to go.
I need to go. I've been talking about it. I need to go. I need to go to Grace.
Just good thing. I've never been myself, but
Yeah?
that's definitely on my list.
I want to. You know why I want to really, really go there? I want to go there. When I say it, people will just be laughing. Okay, I get it. Hercules.
Yeah.
I want to see zoos. Those things I just want to see because I watch their movies.
Those movies. And
I watch
stories.
all of them.
Yeah. So you want to see like?
I want to see where do they have a statue? Do they? I just want to take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might sound whatever, but that's what I want to do.
No, I go for it.
For me, I really want to. So if you're hearing out there, please come and take me to Grace. You know, this is called Champagne Talk Show, so we can't finish this without cheering champagne. Okay, we are happy to have you here, and the subject is so interesting. I actually learned a lot, and I know that they will as well. So thank you for coming,
no problem.
and we will see you soon. I hope you're gonna come as well.
I will come back. I will come back.
I know that. So cheers for seeing you for nice subject. Thank you. Cheers. Now we've come to the end of the show, and I know that you will gain something from this topic. The subject is so interesting. This amazing, lovely sister of ours, Christabel, shared so many insight, like To be honest with you, I learned a lot. So I don't even want this conversation to finish. But you know what? We're gonna finish. So thank you all for watching us. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.